Well, that's a fun shot of my phone. Hi, good morning. Anyway, was it morning? No, it's 12:18, sorry. I'm heading to the store. We're not having much. It's the beginning of a sprint for Aaron. We're having very intense winds, but it's from the south, and I could come home. To be fair, I do talk to a camera, but there are other people that have phones on speakerphone. All trains idle. One of those things when you see someone with a face mask in the apartment building, you're probably like, I probably shouldn't share a thing with them. But anyways, homegirl had all of the perfume on also, that's why I avoided that one. But yeah, so International Game Pass doesn't show me scores. Oh right, Tom Brady went back and played the Patriots. So that's what the notifications were last night. 6 hours, 6 days? Okay, so they've already played, so I'll be able to find it later. For fun times. So I can watch it during I'm cooking the tacos and stuff, but I'm gonna walk a little bit, enjoy the sun. I have a face mask so I can take the tram back when I'm loaded up with groceries. Oh, it's just one of those days. The wind is coming from that way, very strong. BF24. I'm having trouble doing speech to text to Cheery. To be fair, my voice is not very crystal clear as is anyways. But yeah, all of the things are facing that way because the wind is coming very strong. We are generating a lot of wind power today. Considering how low the sun is in the sky right now, as we are past the equinox, fine. But I've been having, I want to say it's regrettable fun, talking to someone here in the Netherlands about the general size of crap in the States. I'm like, yes, things are different. Where I come from is very rich and progressive to an extent for the United States. But in many places like Kansas, you can go, or Utah, you can get large tracts of land for very cheap. Almost pennies on the dollar, as one would say. But I basically told him, and I was like, you could probably get something the size of the Hilversum Hurricanes Cantina, about that size, maybe 3 or 4 times that size, as a house. And then still have land area for your own personal usage that is equatable to the 4 fields that exist on that property, probably for under $300,000. I'm like, yo, I don't know how to properly explain this to them. This all started because he said he's going to have a job today in Amsterdam, and everybody in his home, in the city where he lives, is like, ooh, wow, super posh. And he goes, does that apply in the States if you go work in the capital? I'm like, no. The capital's a shithole. Nobody wants to work there. So, but it's your government. I'm like, yeah, function the same. Amsterdam is not its own province that is not represented in the national government. I didn't know that. I'm like, that's why it's called DC. It's the District of Columbia. Columbia is the goddess of the United States of America. to which that threw him for a loop. I was like, let's boil this down to state size because, yeah. And I named 4 cities on the West Coast. And he's like, oh, I've heard of those. Yeah. None of them are the state capitals. Los Angeles, San Francisco, Portland, and Seattle, not state capitals. That would be Sacramento, Salem, and Olympia. Going north. He's like, oh, okay, well, what about it? And I go, well, let's turn this to Oregon. Portland has about 10 times the population of Salem. Salem is the capital. Oh, okay. I'm like, but nobody say, if you say, oh yeah, I work in Salem. If you live in Salem, even people are like, ew, that's a dumpster fire. And the thing about Portland is that in comparison to other cities, it's a long way away. Second, anybody outside the Portland metro area sees Portland as a liberal leftist stain on the countryside of Oregon. So nobody outside of Portland, when you say, oh, I work in Portland, ooh, they go, oh. And then the actual capital, oh, I work in Salem, oh, it's a trash fire. So it doesn't function the same at all. Those of you in the United States, is your capital a prestigious place to go to work? Is your largest city a prestigious place to go to work in respects to outside that city? Ooh, the chocolate letters are out. They'll be out till fucking Sinterklaas, so no big deal. They're just probably not even cheap right now, but then again, like, I don't know. Everything's off. See, Sinterklaas. I mean, it's October, so we have 2 months. Every time I look at one of these, I'm like, yay, look, it's so egregiously pink. Pear, aardbei, framboos, avocado. I mean, there's only 1/8 of an avocado in here. 6 pears, 10 strawberries, 10 raspberries, and 1/5 of an avocado. 35% pear, 12% aardbei, 7% framboos, 40% Machra yogurt. Fuck, I'll try it. Of course you did. Of course you fell over. Nothing. You got the mail from the OLVG. Figured I just got done with the Pokemon raid. I was gonna. Like I said, I read the ingredients and it's like mostly like it's equal parts fruit and yogurt. Like, so there's like barely any avocado in it. Like the whole thing is, what did I read that as? 4% of this is avocado and then 2% is honey. So I don't know why the avocado's in here. This feels like they wanted to appease the like says, oh, it's vegetarian or vegan. I'm like, of course it is. Actually, if it's using yogurt, it's just vegetarian. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Unless it's some kind of weird vegan yogurt.
Yeah, it's called Machra yogurt, so it's just regular. Like, I was gonna shake it, but I'm like, I don't know if I can. Now that there's air in it. Oh my god, that is just so much fucking raspberry. That is so much raspberry. You want to take a sip of it?
Sure.
Like I said, I didn't skip it, so it may not be nearly as much raspberry, but...
Oh.
It's, take it easy, bro.
Oh.
I told you it was so much raspberry.
Yes, you did.
And he still took it a entire mouthful.
No,
Oh, he's just a lot more sensitive to raspberry than I am.
It's hard. More sensitive to tart than you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the combination of strawberry and raspberry is kicking us both. But that's what these things are. They're like the seeds of the raspberries.
Yeah.
It's usually when something is chunky inside, and it's like raspberries. It's the raspberry seeds in these. It tells you they don't like purify anything. They're just like, we're gonna squeeze the shit out of these fruits. If anything, they're just gonna puree the fruits and leave them as is, whole fruits.
Yeah.
You know, like with cherries, they'll probably, you know, de-pit the cherry, and then blend it up because that's a big old seed in the middle. Where did I get this thing from? Mino, Osaka, Japan. Whatever. Yay. Extra rates.